Thank you for being here, for coming to me coming to you to record the podcast, and happy to be here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Well,
and could you briefly explain who you are, what you do,
yes.
most of the time, your short story?
All right. I'm Frank. So I started as an entrepreneur in 2012, full time, because I wanted to create a working place and culture for myself. Mm-hmm. The best culture for with kids, and I called the company Recognize, because I want to recognize people like me.
Mm-hmm.
The company grew in 4 years to about 16 full-time employees, and then I sold it to VolkerWessels. VolkerWessels is a big company in the Netherlands. Then I started off as an investor in startups, pre-seed investor, and I also run a media network of about 1 million visitors a month. And that is my business. And in spare time, I like to automate my house.
Yeah, I got to know that. Yeah.
Yes. And play with my daughter. So that's what I want. That's what I like the most.
Yeah.
I was born in Indonesia, Jakarta, as an orphan. I'm in an orphanage. So and I went to Holland when I was 1 year old. Adopted by two of the most sweet people in the world who gave me a chance to do this, to grow as an entrepreneur, and I think that's the most beautiful chance I've got in life. So, yeah.
That's already a great beginning.
Yeah.
Lovely story to hear.
Thank you.
And you already put a lot of emphasis on the connection between your daughter and your family. And
yeah, because my daughter is the only bloodline I have in this life, and the only I don't know my biological parents, so my daughter is all to me. It's how you call that? It's, my goal in life is to give my daughter the best life the best start I never had.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's really honorable.
Yeah.
And I would like to okay, who are you specific? So are you? I saw you had the whole bunch of electronic stuff and everything automated. And would you now consider yourself rather a super thought through person that you want to organize everything, or more like the intuition, gut feeling person that you just quickly decide those things out of a gut feeling?
Well, I think it may sound funny, but I think I'm a hustler.
Okay, how would you define that?
A digital hustler. So when I got my first computer, it was in the I think the early 90s. So that was a computer without a hard drive, without the internet, etc. So, but I was attracted to do a thing. But the only thing I can do was to program, to code. And it's not that I'm interested in code, but I want to achieve something. And there was no internet, so you have to borrow books from the library to learn how to code. But the goal was to achieve something. And the first thing I made for my mother was a business administration package suite, software tool.
Okay.
So that's what I started to learn how to use technology.
So immediately from nothing, you started creating codes and made this package for administration.
Yeah, it's
that's incredible.
Thanks. I was 8 or something, and I was I learned it from a book. But in that time, I coded in Basic, GW Basic. That was very linear, you know. But it was a very simple business administration package. But it was not special to me because I just followed a tutorial in a book and did some things myself. But I learned how to use technology for a better life, for an easier life. And that's why I have all the technology. I only use technology to improve my life or the life of others.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, and then in between I make money.
Yeah.
So that's why I think I'm a digital hustler.
Yeah.
To make money of improving the lives of others by technology.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do it in gut feeling. I've in my track record you can see I have entered markets very early, grow markets very early, so like blockchain and voice search, etc. Virtual reality, because I felt like that new technology can improve my life. So I can think of concepts that improves lives of others.
Yeah.
So that's why I do this. That's I think hustlers have a sort of intuition for what is valuable, and my gut feeling is to learn what is valuable before others do. Yeah.
But for you, it's also quite important to give then the value to the other people, like share that, and being able to provide for, whether it's family or just general other people, some value, so you make their lives a bit better.
Yeah, because I learned that when you have value, when you can offer value, that's the only way to create passive income.
Okay.
When you the value on technology is that you can make value scalable. You can copy the things you make and offer that to continuously improve lives of others. If I understand the question right. That's what I believe. That's it.
Oh, that's really cool. And so you're also like a huge part is for you like the connection to your family then, or well, of course not your parents, but like the family you built up here. And how would you say or describe that influenced you to the person you are today?
My relation with my girlfriend has known ups and downs, but it's going up and down for like 18 years.
So I got used to the up and downs by now.
Yeah, we got used to it. We broke up a little bit. We got it. How you call that? You
came together again.
Came together again, and in the last couple of years, we got a beautiful daughter. So, when you are an orphanage, or when you are an orphan and you are adopted, you don't have a base, you call it, in life. So you think you have to do it all by yourself. And I've learned that my family I've built over here is my base for life, because I don't have anything. That's what I've learned from the family part of it. What I've also learned is that when you have a family and you are an entrepreneur, you have a lot of responsibility to maintain your family, because it's high risk. You don't know if you fail next year or something like that, but you don't want to turn over the risk to my family.
You want to keep them secure and make them feel comfortable in there.
So you as an entrepreneur, you force yourself to do it for your family. Just make choices. Is it okay for my family? Then I will do it. If not, I don't do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the priority is definitely on the family side, not the entrepreneurial growth side.
Yeah, that's why when I sold my company, Recognize, it was a company with employees at the office, etc. But now I'm an entrepreneur in my garage, in my I call it in my attic. And without employees, I don't want to hire employees anymore. Just to be with my daughter. and creating a passive income and maintaining a passive income from my attic, and to give myself the most time spending with my daughter, with my daughter, and learning my daughter that it's important to have freedom, and spend time with the people that you love, by creating something like an income or a base from out your own house, and not from out an office or working 9 to 5 or something like that. Yeah.
But it's, I guess, also not really easy for most people to switch to that direction of like, okay, now I go to, let's make passive income so I can spend more time with my family or the people who I love, right?
Yeah, and I think that's the when you want to do that, the only way to achieve that is to learn how technology works, how internet technology works, learn how to code, learn how you reach a lot of people from out your attic, and to sell them your product, without how you call that, without having to hire employees. So,
Okay, that you for yourself make basically products that are scalable. They can, as you said, like copy paste to other people and make that in this terms then scalable.
Yeah, for instance, I have a Bitcoin trading bot, which I maintain from out my attic. There's nothing more than a trading bot which trades my Bitcoin on the exchanges and give myself a little bit of profit each day. And then I have a lot of websites, like I said, a media network of a lot of websites which give me advertising income. And I have some products like a Game Key, which I sell games to people, but I don't need employees for that.
You can all run this with your 5 screens in this office here.
Yeah. Or on my laptop when I'm sitting at the beach in Bali or something like that. So that's what I do. Really impressive that you like could build this up out of. I guess was the driver then that you wanted to spend more time with your daughter and your family, that you went into this model of creation? That's the main main drive. But also in this way I build assets. I think we are we don't live in a cash economy anymore. We live in a attention economy. So the ones with the most traffic and attention, for instance influencers, can activate business models way quicker than the old cash economy does. People of the influencers in the cash economy do. So the assets I built is Bitcoin, etc., gold, but also traffic. All my projects have traffic. So when I launch a website, that's not only the website who receives traffic, but I can on that website I can make advertising, or I can put advertising for other projects. So so when that's also scalable. So my portfolio of websites is enables me to launch product very fast. For myself.
And like you said, this is super important for you to have this in the background so you can focus on your daughter. And what does the time and the time spent with your daughter make you feel like? What is the emotion that gets evoked when you can spend time with your daughter and your family? How would you describe that?
Like the ultimate happiness. Because when I'm playing with my daughter with dolls or building bricks or something that I'm back to being a kid.
So you do this for yourself as well, that you can be a kid again.
And but also I believe when you are free, when you free your mind, then there's room for happiness. So when I play with my daughter, I see it frees my daughter's mind. So she's calm. She gets a lot of energy. She's more emotionally attached to me, and that's the ultimate happiness. Because when you work, with all due respect, when you work from 9 to 5, many fathers see their daughters or sons 1 hour a day, and then you go to bed. And I think in the long term, it also bijdragen. It also
during the day, or
it also draagt bij aan.
It helps for that to increase.
It helps to create a happier life for my daughter, and give my daughter the basics, the base, the fallback.
Oh that you didn't have.
That I didn't have, and that's, I think, she learns that she has to work for value and not for money, and so she has to choose whatever she does to become happy and not to become rich. So, and that's the freedom I give her. Well, and I think that's luck and happiness. And the emotion it gets me at the time I'm playing with my daughter is also how you call that, and free feeling. It's independent.
It gives you
independency. So,
and I guess also like a light feeling that you don't have also to. You are able to do that and don't have to think, oh, okay, I need to work again to do something like that. So you can really be fully in this moment to play with her. And I last year I bought a house next to the school of my daughter. So my daughter is right now 2 meters away. So she's in that school.
The only reason I bought this house is because it's standing next to the school, right next to the school. And so I'm a little bit freaky about it or something like that.
Well,
I don't know if it's healthy, but my girlfriend is a social worker, so she don't think it's healthy. But I like to have my daughter with me.
Close by,
yes. It's also, maybe you can say, when I don't have this situation, it feels insecure. So
also when you're not close to your daughter, you mean it's
just
want to protect her and like make her really the best life you could give her in
a little bit obsessive way.
I guess makes total sense, since yours wasn't like so protected in the from where you lived or grew up.
So that's my main goal. So
that's your main goal, to really make your daughter a happy life, or the best you can provide to her.
All the choices in life I've made is the last 5 years to give my daughter this life.
Then I feel super appropriate a question now. Would you change something if you just had, like, let's say 6 months to live left? Would you do something differently in this context, maybe of your daughter or anything in this realm? How you did it now?
Well, last year I've described my will.
Okay.
It's very early. But that's how you call that? That shows how I'm thinking about that case. And when I have 6 months to live, I think I do what I do now. But maintain what I do now in order to give it to my daughter when I die. And in the 6 months, I just play with my daughter. I just go on vacation or do things with her, to be with her. And That's it. Yeah.
That's actually super interesting. That's most so far from everybody who I asked this kind of question, I got a similar answer to like I want to spend more time with my loved ones.
Yeah.
Yes, every single one of them.
Huh.
To like
That's great.
to just see the value what we get out of deep personal connections with other people, and that we feel trusted and we really feel welcome with a certain group of people.
But the funny thing is, when you when you happen to receive the news that you have that you just have 6 months to live, you think you have the eternal life. So they say entrepreneurs are the only people who work 80 hours a week to ontwijken, to not have to work a 40-hour week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So and we as entrepreneurs mostly in the startup phase, we say we do this for our family. But I have learned that isn't always true. Most entrepreneurs who have failed wished that they had spent more time with their family instead of running after the problems or solving the problems they experienced every day, etc. They wished they have stopped earlier, etc. I think when you are an entrepreneur, you don't have to work for 24 hours a day at your startup or your company, because then you don't do it for your family.
Okay, so when that is the drive, then you shouldn't work 40 hours a week.
Yeah, so many entrepreneurs say, I do it for my family, but work 24 hours a day, and I think that's wrong. I think when you do that, you just have to quit.
Okay.
Yeah, to do that, but it doesn't work.
Yeah. And you see like the intense value you get out of not working. It's 24 hours a day.
Yeah, because I've experienced that. I was a person who worked 24 hours a day. Yeah. And learned that it doesn't create any value. Yeah. It creates money to continue your company, but that's another thing. That's not value. Value is what you miss the most when you die. So
that's so interesting that so many people say in this direction the same thing of like that is create some value, go after like deep connections with your family. And I think also there was a super like 70 years longitudinal study which tried to assess what makes a person live the longest, and it was the relationships with other people. Yeah. That was the highest predictor on the life's happiness, but also the ages they got, so how long they could live.
I think you don't need many people to achieve
that. No, deep connections.
Deep connections. Yeah.
That's the most important. Not a lot. Like really, like the deep connections with some people are usually much more fruitful than some acquaintances you usually go or speak to or something like that. Yeah. So that's really interesting.
That's interesting.
Thing, yeah.
But very logical.
Makes total sense.
Makes sense, yeah, because when you're happy, you live longer, I think. Yeah. So, and when you experience how you call it, stress, you can't get stressed out of your body without other people. Mm-hmm. So, also the other way around, it also works that way. So.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. So that's I don't know, it's like especially now like in my phase of life, it's super interesting to think about those things to like, okay, where should I put my focus and attention, in which direction, in order to what kind of life do I want? Yeah. Whether I want to like super go into a career and have this 60-70 hours work weeks, or am I fine with not achieving so much in the career sense, but rather than spending or having to work just 20, 25 hours a week in those realms? This is quite interesting to think about, especially when hearing from people who intentionally made the switch from like 24 hours working to this direction.
But do you have a girlfriend or some or a relationship? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when you in that phase you are in life right now, what does your partner think of this? What does that person think you have to work 24 hours, or does the person think no, do it in 3 days in a week?
It really depends, or at least you put it really on me, so I can decide completely for myself how I would like to do this. And this is really open, so I can decide basically for myself what I feel is the best for me. Because also I think that determines in the end whether relationships kind of work out, whether you can stay a lot true to yourself. When you are a person just enjoying so much to really be in this working environment and do this, and somebody is restraining you from that, that also creates an internal
conflict.
Conflict that you might want to do more in those areas, but some person is holding you back, whether it's a girlfriend or other friends who like don't work so much. But if you really enjoy it, like that's the thing that you would do also as a hobby. Then why would you restrain yourself from it? So there's like the conflict between that, I feel.
All right, but I also think you have. We talk about the professional life. But you also have like a healthy life, caring for your body, and hobbies. And I have experienced that it's also important to divide your hobbies from your professional life, because otherwise your hobbies become your professional life. And then
you would say that's a bad thing.
Yeah, but because many people forget to make money. Because I think when you don't make money, it's a hobby. When you make money, it's professional life.
Okay.
So, and when you try to make a company out of your hobby, you have to think as an entrepreneur and not as an how you call that, someone with a lot of skills in that era. So and then what I see is most entrepreneurs who try to make a living out of a hobby fail statistically, because they think they do it for fun. Also they tell themselves I only want to do things when it's fun. And that's not realistic. So that's my opinion.
No, it's really good, really interesting to see those different perspectives, and also like then in the context to what you're doing now, but also your professional and your social life. What would you say is maybe your life's mission in this context? What is the purpose you think you're here to do something, or is there something you want to achieve with the life you've got? I think they transferred me to Holland for a reason, for a purpose, and the purpose and the reason is to how you call that, to serve people in Holland great tools. Oh, okay.
That's pure business wise. And I think I have a because in my early days I learned how to code, and I learned how to design, I learned how to be creative, not because I wanted to be creative or designer or a coder, because I want to achieve something. And I want to make products to give people the product to improve their lives. So I think that's my purpose.
Oh wow!
to give people in the professional life. I am to give people tools, if I understand it correctly.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and I get some recognition from when people leave a review from that's a great tool. Yeah. For instance, I have a tool that calculates taxes. It's very simple.
Okay.
But 90,000 people a month do that, and that gives me a great feeling because I have built something very simple.
Could help a lot of people.
Yeah,
and for you, it seems so easy and simple to do.
Yeah, and that's great. So So yeah.
And maybe then do you have a different purpose, I guess, in your social life?
Social life I already explained.
Yeah.
I don't have a big social life, so I like to be on myself and with my daughter.
Yeah.
At home, but when I'm with my friends, I've I think 3 best friends and 4 best friends. One of them is a girl.
Yeah.
And 3 of them are guys. And the funny thing is, all those people are also into media, internet.
Makes sense. They're similar attractives. Yeah.
Yeah. So the goal is for my social life is, I think, is inspiration, to inspire my friends and to and the other way around. So vice versa. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. But I don't talk to my friends a lot. So,
no. But you still feel that bond and this connection whenever you meet and.
Yeah.
So that's also why you before said but you don't need a lot of friends, because the deep connection, I guess, you also have with your friends, other than the common denominator. This is the most important part.
Yeah. And when you talk, for instance, high school or something, I had many friends. I had many customers, but not many friends. And so this maybe sort of like a handicap. When I meet people, I see a customer. I don't see a friend in the first place. Okay. Yeah.
So first you think, okay, how can I improve their lives and give them a product to get better?
Yeah, I also and I'm always started to ask many questions to the or what do you like? What's your big dream? What's etc. I admire people like Elon Musk, etc. And I see that people don't give a lot about people. They give a lot about mankind. Mm-hmm. And you see that with Steve Jobs and Elon Musk, they are assholes one-on-one, but to the mankind they are great. Mm-hmm. So I don't. So
on which side would you put yourself rather?
I'm not as good as Elon Musk or something.
No, but what would you prefer? Like going for the mankind or for the individual?
I think I'm going for the mankind.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm not the social skills to be one-on-one at a bar talking about with all due respect, dumb stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to talk about dumb stuff.
No, yeah.
I mean, we are basically doing nothing else except that he is not a bar.
Yeah. That's so. But
you're doing a pretty good job, so you could do that.
Yeah, but I feel this is also a sort of like talking about my profession, so professional life, and why I do my professional life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just a huge part of your character, of your personality as well. Like that, you just spend a lot of time there.
Yeah.
So, of course, that makes sense that you want to like to talk about this, but it doesn't mean that there are not social skills in that involved. Even though the topic or the frame is a different one.
But I think you can compare it to dating, because when
that's kind of interesting.
I think when I've never dated, but when I when the situation would be like I have to date, I don't think girls are into my story or something like that. The why I have my professional life or something, and then I don't know what to say. So
ask them.
Yeah, that's great. That's great advice.
They always want to talk.
That's great advice. Yeah. What do you want to know? Well, that is a funny interview. Yeah. Okay. Well.
Some relationships advice, awesome, everything in there.
Yeah. Maybe I can sell them an app or something like that.
Well, I've never seen that on a date. That would be interesting.
Yeah. I would.
Might be worth trying it.
No, because I would, because my girlfriend won't let me. So, yeah. So.
Interesting. Though.
So, I've got the formal question.
I don't think there was a formal question. No, no, it was just like super interesting that you were. Well, I had the before question was whether you were more like the mankind person or the personal person. You direct most of your products and an interest towards like a single person rather than to the mankind or to improve the mankind. That's what I felt, at least. Like you direct the products towards, okay, how can a single person make better taxes or create an app or stuff like that.
Yeah, but I'm also looking for the common interest in niche groups.
Mm-hmm.
Then I build something for that common interest. So I build it for a single person.
Mm-hmm.
A single person can use it, but I make sure there is there's not a one-person market.
Yeah, so, of course. Yeah.
I have to launch products for a mass market. I don't do products which are very exclusive, very high, I call it, very high, very expensive.
Yeah.
And I'm like the Aldi supermarket. A lot of people who use simple products.
Yeah. It makes that's also the thing. Like it makes it. I feel sometimes almost even better to have those products because you don't need to invest a lot. You can just it makes just a small improvements to maybe especially like those taxes. Some people hassle there for like 3 weeks to get it done, and for you it's just like I don't know, a couple of days or how long did it take to make this product.
Yeah, one night.
Now you can help so many people and save them so much time. They could, for example, spend them with their daughters or something.
Yeah. I also have a tool that's called Bitcoin Calculator, and because I traded Bitcoin, I wanted a simple tool who I can put in. I have this Bitcoin. This at this moment is it worth so much dollars. I made it in one night. I put it online.
Oh,
and now it says 10,000 visitors a month. So,
wow, that's insane.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of simple products.
Yeah.
Also, when I'm a dragon, and people pitch to me their startup, I always ask them if they are a snack bar.
If they're what?
If they are, how you call it, a snack bar, a place where they sell fries.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or or a 3-star restaurant.
Okay, now I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, because 3-star restaurants don't make money.
Why not?
They have a lot of overhead.
Okay. So the cost for the people there, or what do you mean exactly?
Yeah, you sell a plate for $100, but you have to pay for the high class interior, the waiter, the etc. But with a fry, how you call that? Snack bar. So.
I only know in German.
The place where they sell fries.
Like a small store again in fries.
You bake the fries. You put it in some bag or something like that. You give it. You get $2.50. Next customer.
Yeah.
So it's a better business model.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you like that a lot more to to give people a little bit of value, like many times.
Yeah, yeah. It's more secure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It has already quite a while since we recorded, so I like want to stir it somewhere in the direction now, because I think also your daughter's coming back soon, right?
Well, in a couple of minutes, yes.
Yeah. So the question I'd like to ask is, what are maybe some like your beliefs about yourself that might hold you back? So it could be something that people are saying to themselves, yeah, I can't make, for example, a big podcast because I don't believe that I am a good interviewer. Whereas that is just your own belief, instead of you could just improve the skill and get better, or even if you have the skill, you don't believe you have it. What do you think maybe there are some that you have and you would like to change maybe?
Yeah, like I told you before, I am not good at socializing with people. So that means I'm not good at working in a team. When I work in a team, I get the how you call that? Sometimes I get the feeling to break things.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very weird, but I don't want to build something with a team. Then when I sometimes I get the feeling to split the team apart.
Okay.
And that's not good, but I think that's why I'm not suitable for running big companies, or share my stuff with others, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, would you like to change that, or are you like, this is just like I feel a lot more comfortable and enjoy this as well?
Yeah, there's a lot. I feel a lot comfortable, and also I think I'm also only focused on the Dutch market because I think my English is bad.
We have now like an hour of talk, and you ask once or twice for vocabulary. I think that's super good.
Oh yeah, but that's maybe my doubt or something.
Yeah, that's something like. Why do you think your English is not good? I mean,
because I'm a person who thinks a lot while I'm talking, and that's and I don't think people who with a good native English a talent or something.
Yeah.
They irritate also. I'm irritating them, I think.
Well, I don't think so.
Oh
no.
Oh, that's great to hear.
Not at all.
That's great to hear. Cool.
Oh well, that might be something that you think too much about those things.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. Maybe I think. And
so it would be interesting to hear whether somebody who is listening would say like whether it's like weird to listen to you or not, because I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm very curious if it's.
Yeah. So maybe somebody is gonna get a comment on there.
Yeah, comment on the.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. And that is, for example, something. Yeah. I don't think that is a belief that's true.
No, well, maybe we find out in the comments.
Yeah. Cool. And when you now think back to how you have been when you were about between like 5 and 10, what advice would you give that former you with the knowledge you have right now? What would they do differently? Should they do differently?
Take care of your body. Because nowadays, started 2 years ago. I started exercising and take care of my body, eating healthy, etc. Before that, I weigh about 125 kilos, and I never how you call it? Took a sport, worked out or something like that.
Yeah.
And I've learned 2 years ago to do that, and I'm a lot happier. Also, when I got my daughter, and my daughter was about 2 years, I tried to play with her. It was one time I tried to Oh yeah. Well, she tried to learn how to ride a bike, and I had to run. I had to run my daughter, and I couldn't run. I got, it was too far from me.
You were so exhausted, so
yeah, so exhausting. Yes, yeah. So I thought, well, that's not good. So I exercised every day, and now I can run behind the bike of my daughter. So.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So that has really like, you had a super good purpose for doing the sport as well. Like one trigger of, I cannot help my daughter learning how to cycle the bike.
Yeah, there were a bit more triggers, but that was the one which I felt today as an achievement.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Yeah.
And if you could imagine you have any one superpower you could choose, like any of you could imagine, what one would it be?
To make people fall in love with each other. Yeah, I think, yeah. Because when I'm invincible, it's invincible or very strong or I can spit fire or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just to it's just to sort of trick people. That's not the power I want. It's when you can make people fall in love with something or someone, then you have a sort of like engagement.
Yeah.
Which is it's better for the world, so better for me. Yeah. Yeah.
So would you then say, well, you give a lot of value to other people, as you with your superpower also do, that those things are like in a way connected, that when you make other people happy, they also in a way create a better environment for yourself.
Yeah.
So that's also one of the like reasons why you do this, to create yourself a great environment by giving others value. And
yeah, I think I'm not a hippie or something. Some
you don't have to be a hippie to think that way. No.
But I think if someone is falling in love with someone, he finds his true purpose in life.
Yeah.
So so we just concluded that if you die, you want to when you have 6 months to live, you want to spend time with the loved ones. So I wish everyone in this world is aware of that. When he or she doesn't got the news that he lives 6 months.
Yeah.
So that's the only way to do it, to make people fall in love.
That's all. I haven't heard that before at all. That's a cool one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. By the way, I didn't think of that myself.
Okay.
I once asked my daughter the same question, and my daughter said, "Yeah, I want everyone to fall in love."
Then credits to your daughter. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And if you would not have to like care about the opinions of others, what others might think about you, or what they think your English might be, what would you do differently? Like what is this holding you back from?
I don't know if I can answer the question right, but I've learned in my youth that being different is a USP. Because when I came in Holland, I'm not a racist, but I was surrounded by white people in a village with about 10,000 people.
Yeah.
So it's a small village, and they were about 3 not white people in the village, and so everybody knew my name.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm experiencing that's something that is holding me back because some what people think of me. I can make up something. No, I'm not.
Would you then say that's because you got exposed to like the opinions of others really early on, and you learned to embrace that and enjoy that rather than trying to fight that?
Yeah, and that's with back in the days when I was a young kid and there were only white people.
Yeah.
But also when I gave interviews at newspapers, you have a lot of comments.
Yeah.
But I think okay, I read the comments and that's cool. I'm used to getting a lot of feedback from people, negative or positive, and I don't care or something. It's maybe a bit arrogant or something, but it's honest.
Well, I wouldn't say that's arrogant, to be honest. What is the right word for that? I mean, most of the time when people are also giving feedback, it's not saying that you are a bad person or anything personal. So I think maybe that's actually a better way to think about the feedback, that they usually want to give you some advice in some sort of direction. Some can formulate it in a positive way, others do it in a negative way, just maybe to make it a bit more intense, or because they have a similar thing they want to change. And so I think to maybe take a step back and dissociate from that and like see, okay, I get this as a positive, that is a negative feedback, what can I learn out of that? It's, I think, really good approach.
That's what I do. What can I learn out of that? That's what I do. But that's not holding me back.
Yeah.
So I can't answer the question.
No, you did. You did perfectly.
Okay, great. Yeah.
And then basically the last one, after we had now this 1 hour talk, and you know what I ask, how I interview, who would you think would fit to this podcast, and who should I interview next? Could be any person hard to reach or anyone you know, like whatever you like, whoever you like.
A friend of mine is Nander, and Nander is a sort of guy which is they call it in Holland a vrijbuiter. He wants to live off the grid. He wants to live totally independent, very minimalistic, no stuff around him, others than me. Yeah. And but we share the same interests.
That's interesting.
In being independent.
Yeah.
And I think that's a cool guy to interview.
Cool. Thank you. Thanks for being here on my podcast and to show this freaking awesome long podcast, and really acknowledging how much depth you shared and how open and willing you were to explore those topics with me. So thanks a lot for that.
Thank you for having me. It was an honor to do this. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Great, man. Thanks.
Wow, that was really cool.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, cool. I think you are a good interviewer because you ask me questions I have to think about very long.